All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for attending this informational session. I'm going to highlight some of the key elements of our immigration policy in hopes that that will clear up some of the questions that you may have. Firstly, it's important to note that our immigration policy has not changed with the change of the new administration. It has remained relatively unchanged since being released 3 years ago. It's also very important for everyone to understand that local law enforcement officers do not have the authority to enforce federal immigration violations. That remains a function of federal agencies. In terms of cooperation, we cooperate with other law enforcement agencies, we coordinate, we communicate, and we provide assistance if needed. So this document I created, it's essentially our immigration policy. It's paraphrased because I don't think everybody wants to hear me read through an entire policy on immigration. So these are the key elements of our immigration policy. Southold Police Department is fully committed to ensuring fair enforcement of the law, treating all individuals with dignity and providing equal service to everyone, regardless of immigration status. Our goal is for every person, whether a resident or visitor, to feel comfortable interacting with police officers without fear of being reported to immigration authorities. Top priority is ensuring that crime victims and witnesses feel safe in reporting incidents and cooperating with law enforcement. Immigration status should not discourage anyone from reaching out for help. Officers will not ask about a person's immigration status when they are a victim, witness, or seeking assistance unless the individual is arrested or required to provide identification during a criminal proceeding. In terms of detaining individuals, officers will not detain someone solely for a civil violation of immigration laws or based on immigration detainer or an administrative warrant unless it is accompanied by a judicial warrant. If an officer has reasonable suspicion or probable cause that someone has committed a criminal immigration violation, they may temporarily detain the individual and contact federal immigration authorities to verify their status. Any detention for a potential criminal immigration violation will be reviewed by a supervisor. Supervisors play an essential role in ensuring that detentions are handled properly. They will assess if someone should be transferred to federal immigration authorities or arrested based on a criminal immigration offense pursuant to a judicial warrant. Officers will not generally notify federal immigration officials about an individual's arrest unless there's a confirmed hit on the arrestee's name during the booking process. A person who is eligible for release should not be detained solely for the purpose of notifying immigration authorities. If federal immigration officials request assistance from our department, the request will be directed to a supervisor. We will assist with tasks such as traffic control or maintaining order, but we will not actively participate in immigration enforcement. Again, because we don't have the authority to. In accordance with federal law, the department will not prohibit officers from sharing information about an individual's citizenship or immigration status with federal, state, or local agencies. Our department is committed to supporting victims and witnesses of certain crimes and applying for U visas and T visas. These visas offer temporary immigration status to individuals who cooperate with law enforcement in certain criminal investigations or prosecutions. We believe that proper training is key to ensuring our officers understand this policy. And with regards to our policy, it is routinely updated to stay in line with legal changes and best practices. That is our immigration policy in sum and substance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And to ask Mr. Petretti if he'd like to add anything from the schools.
Again, I was asked to be here this evening because there's a lot of questions on how schools are handling information and then potentially if federal agents of any kind, ICE officers, were to show up at our doors. I know that there's been a lot of questions about that. I speak solely for the Mattituck Cutchogue School District. I want to be very clear about that. But I am in constant contact with my colleagues across the North Fork, and our policies and procedures are very, very similar. First and foremost, our registration policy. When we register students in the district, there are only 3 pieces of information that we need about those children to register them. It is their name, their age, and their residency. And once the residency is determined within the district, Those students are then registered as students within the Mattituck Cutchogue School District. At no point in time during our registration process are there any questions about their immigration status, the immigration status of their families. That is information that we are not privy to and is not part of our registration process. The New York State law is that when you determine a student resides within the boundaries of your school district, you are then obligated to educate that child. We do not share student information with any outside organizations, and again, the information we have on the children are very limited, outside of then protected information in regards to immunizations, grades and attendance and so forth. In the event that we were to be visited by agencies outside of Southold PD, we have directed our security and all of our frontline staff that in the event an immigration agency is to enter the school or come to the school doors, we would request the agent's name, ID, and the reason for the visit. The security guards would then notify the building principal, who would then notify my office. We would then, the security has been told that they would not provide any information regarding any of our students without express authorization from my office. Once at my office, I would be asked to see the agent's credentials, their supervisor information, and then any documentation, be it a subpoena, search warrant, arrest warrant, or any written authorizations to enter school grounds. And then we would confirm that information. We would inform the agent of our protocols requiring notification and obtaining guidance from legal counsel at that point in time, and we would ask the agent to wait while we got that information back from legal counsel. And based on that information, we would then determine how we would proceed. And again, any situation could be vastly different, and we would consult legal counsel at that point in time and determine where we'd go from there. As always, we work very close with Southold Police Department. The SROs are in our buildings each and every day. And anytime there's any type of law enforcement activity whatsoever, we also reach out to Southold PD to make sure that they are part of that at that time.
Thank you. All right, Mark?